The 11 of Brian Scott, they have dropped back significantly. What's going on down there, Doc?
Well, he's talked about having some issues inside the car. Here's what he had to say on the radio a moment ago.
Guys, my eyes are burning. I got something I can't even see in here that's just killing me. I can smell it and it's burning my eyes. 10-4, just hold your line, hold your hand out the window, try to get you a little air.
On lap 141, he said something was amiss in the engine, and suddenly it started sputtering, and he lost 4 positions. And then within about a half a lap, he said the cockpit started having a funny smell, and now he's got something inside there that's burning, that's also burning his eyes. He's trying to hang on until their final stop around lap 180.
Well, that's a tough situation to deal with. Tough to see. You got something in your eye. There's the battle for 5th place. That's Brendan Gaughan leading Paul Menard. These two have been around one another quite a bit tonight.
Sure have. Paul Menard trying to take that spot away now. Brendan Gaughan still trying to make that high line work, but been a really good run for Paul Menard. He did not come back yesterday and practice his car, so he's been able to adjust on it and get it to his liking tonight. We've seen him up in the top 5 or 6 the majority of the night.
You know, at the beginning of the season, crew chief Matt Pusha telling me that they really believed that they could be a top 5 team from a points perspective to run the full nationwide season. They're 6th in points right now, but they don't have a top 5 finish. And I know from Matt's perspective, they thought they were going to contend for some more wins than what they've done here this season. But the Fords have struggled in that category.
They have struggled. This has been one of the strongest Fords this year in the Nationwide Series. Been very solid. Tonight, probably a night that they're going to get their first top 5.
Brendan Gaughan maybe having a little bit of a problem down there, Doc?
He just cued the radio a moment ago as you watched the 98 car of Paul Menard go by for position. Brendan just screamed. He said suddenly the engine has changed harmonics. He said it seems like it's going to blow. Now it's got suddenly a very, very high pitch as he falls in behind the 98.
It's not good with 65 laps to go. Now you can really hear the change. Obviously, you can hear the change in the motor, but that really starts getting in your head then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, and it is something that you can't hear as a driver. But sometimes even the handling of the race car can change that too. Your RPMs will change, and so that will change your sound and tune of the engine also. So hopefully it's something like that, and it's not something that could take these guys out of a great run.
It still makes Brad Perry, you saw the crew chief over there, it makes him very concerned when you hear that on the radio. You really get concerned about it.
Yeah, quite a change, because just a short while ago, Parrott was talking about how happy he was because the car was running so well. That's racing. It changes pretty quick. Keselowski has now led 34 laps. Remember, he started all the way back in the 24th position, but he's being chased by Carl Edwards. The furthest back a winner at Nashville has ever started was 22nd. Michael Waltrip back in April of 2004. Keselowski could change that here tonight.
He could, but he's going to have his hands full here shortly. Carl was about 2 seconds behind earlier. He's cut a second off of that.
Hey, tell Scott or tell him to hold up a little bit. We'll rate. 10-4. I'll make sure he gets the message.
That was Carl Edwards. Little request for Brad Keselowski right now, trying to hunt him down. I don't know if Brad Keselowski is going to go ahead and do what Carl Edwards just asked him to do, which is slow down so Carl can catch him. But Carl told me before he climbed in the car, guys, that the car was super loose, and they really have been chasing that loose condition all race long. It seems like they finally have it under control. As moments ago, Carl Edwards radioed in and said it's just a little tight in the center, but it's good, guys.
Yeah, I don't think he can count on Brad waiting on him.
No, he better work on his car some more if he's wanting to get to his back bumper, or just keep driving it hard like he knows how to do.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski doesn't strike me as the type that's going to be generous in this type of situation, and can't say that I blame him. He's fighting for a championship, and Edwards is really the guy chasing him in that championship hunt.
Yeah, and this is the record that these two guys, we've talked about it a number of times, but their record on concrete turf now, they both obviously do very well in a lot of other places, but get on concrete. And I think that's an acquired feel that different drivers have with that, and these two guys have gotten a better feel than others.
Edwards still on the chase, but Brad Keselowski's the man. He leads at Nashville.
Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards also 4 tires on that 60 car. They said just a little bit of air pressure. They don't want to mess the car up. They said it is that good, guys.
And the race off pit road, it's going to be Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards, and then the 98 of Paul Menard.
Stephen Wallace gained 4 spots.
So Wallace gained 4, Bliss gained 5. Brad Keselowski still the leader. That final pit stop in all likelihood going to take us to the end. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Nashville. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Getting ready for a restart after our 7th caution. A couple of Dodges, a couple of Fords, and a couple of Toyotas in the top 6. That's Brad Keselowski on the inside in this restart with Carl Edwards on the outside.
Yeah, Carl got a good restart right there. Working that Brendan Gaughan line.
Keselowski and Edwards have been up front for much of the race after Justin Allgaier led the first 58.
Now Carl drove it down into turn 3.
Hey, look at Menard now trying to get on the inside of Brad Keselowski.
Keselowski getting pressured from his teammate Justin Allgaier around the outside now.
And he's getting from both sides.
Edwards in the lead. Keselowski trying to fend off his teammate for second. Paul Menard, Brendan Gaughan, Reed Sorensen all in position to pounce. That's the battle.
Keselowski for the lead.
Keselowski inside. What a battle between Keselowski and Carl Edwards. Keselowski just reloaded and shot right back up.
I'm telling you, that was a power move down the back straightaway and down into turn 3.
Now let's see what Edwards can do in response.
Well, you can see the sparks flying now. The speeds are up.
Driving a little bit harder, a little deeper into the corner.
Justin Allgaier, who's been strong all night. We mentioned started from the pole, led a lot of laps. He's pressuring Edwards. And there's Sorensen and Brendan Gaughan. They have been strong. Stephen Wallace is right there in the mix. Rusty's teams have been very good tonight, and there's Justin Allgaier now trying to make it 1-2 for Penske, and he gets by Carl Edwards as they go through turn 1 and 2.
Well, I remember another concrete racetrack this year where these 2 Penske cars duked it out for the win.
At Bristol, Allgaier passed Keselowski, went on to win. Good battle here, the 21 of Riggs and the 18 of Brad Coleman.
That's Coleman Presley there in that 88 car just in front of these 2.
Yeah, in ninth spot. Great run for him after rebounding from that spin early on. Here's Reed Sorensen. He's had all kinds of problems all night in passing Brendan Gaughan. Of course, a lot of people have. Brendan's really been good on that high side. Can become really aggravating as a driver because you know if you could just get by him, you could move forward a little bit, but Brendan's not going to move over.
Riggs seems like he's a little bit better than Presley, but he hasn't been able to get underneath him. There he goes.
I think there's one thing for sure. Coleman Presley's shown in this car tonight that he belongs in a good race car, and that as he gets more time in it, he's going to be even better.
I think Dale Jr. has been nicely rewarded tonight for his faith in a couple of young guys. Coleman Presley, who's done a great job in 10th, and Josh Wise in the 7 car back in 20th.
Dale Jr. said that if Coleman Presley could win tonight, he would buy 1-hour drinks at the Whiskey River bar that he owns.
There's a lot of folks that are really rooting for Coleman Presley right now.
Coleman is doing a good job tonight, Coleman Presley.
What's that hanging from the back of his car?
That's from the earlier spin. He got in the wall just a little bit with that right rear corner, and they've patched it up, but it's probably some of that little loose sheet metal or maybe one of the little braces that it looks to be like tape, really, that's dragging, or maybe a piece of that bumper. Maybe some of that bear bond. I don't think it's any problem.
Under 50 to go. Mike Bliss now being sandwiched. Oh, Riggs goes way down on the apron. I've been impressed with the way Riggs has driven the car tonight, too, for Richard Childress.
Well, he's sure peaking at the right time here at this on this last run.
That was for 7th. Menard in 8th. Here's another good battle for these 2 for 4th. They're going to be tired of seeing one another before this night's over with.
And the problem is Reed Sorensen in the 32 just can't quite get enough of a run up out of the corner. Brendan Gaughan gets back to the gas so hard that he carries that straightaway